access. But if you've got someone's Facebook password, you were able to go and read their private messages.
Yeah.
And that is something that you didn't, by virtue of accepting a friend request, allow everyone access to. That was part of the unfairness of being allowed to request a password.
And so that's why it's changed in 2013, and employers are no longer allowed to do that, right?
They're no longer allowed to ask. However, what some employees have reported is that they almost feel this pressure that if they don't have anything to hide, that maybe they should provide the password even though they don't have to. And you can imagine, employers are basically stating if you on social media are the face, pun intended, right, of the company.
Sure.
And we should have a right to know that you're not representing the company in any sense that's going to embarrass us, cause us a black eye. But when you look at if that's the rationale, some employees are saying, why wouldn't they have an incentive to read my double secret area, my private messages that I'm supposed to be able to wall off from the rest of the world, including my Facebook friends? LinkedIn, same thing, although obviously the two are used for very different reasons. Nonetheless, there's this private messaging option that employees are rightfully saying, I don't want anybody but me to have access to. And God forbid the password falls into the wrong hands. Now you can have people sending messages as if they're someone else. I mean, it's just rife with problems.
So as an employee, if you're working at a company and your boss comes up to you and suggests that you hand over that information, what are your rights?
Well, you don't have to give it under California law nowadays. But again, you're put in that untenable position of, should I feel that perhaps I'm going to be retaliated against if I don't? Now, obviously, that would be illegal. But nonetheless, the issue is still there. It's enough to make some employees close down their social media sites to begin with and say, you know what, it's not worth the problem. Or setting everything to public so there's no issue of there even being a password to get any more information than anybody could get publicly.
And do you recommend one of those two options if an employee is worried about what their boss might see or what could happen?
It's a great question, and it depends on where you work. Because there are some places like a news station where why wouldn't you want a great social media presence? On the other hand, there are some government jobs where you wouldn't want anything out there on social media. Everything should be private and discretionary. So it's a great question, and it varies job to job.
Okay, but just so everybody knows, if you're applying for a job in the new year or you have a job and your employer has no right to ask you for those passwords.
That's right, 2003 law starting January 1st of this year.
All right, good to know. Well, Wendy, thank you so much for coming by this morning.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. All right.